Landlords, you're not checking our credit score anymore. You're checking our blood pressure. You want 3 times the monthly income to rent some of these places? Average rent in America just hit $3,000. So $9,000 a month. The average American is not making that kind of money. This shit's crazy, dude.
I seen a creator on here talking about people need to stop moving and bouncing around. That's why the rent high. Just renew your lease, like all this other stuff. But let me give you the perspective of a mover, right? I've had 5 apartments in the last 5 years. Let me tell you why. In one of my apartments, my lease was up. They sent me a renewal offer. They said your rent's going up $150. I said, why? Nothing has changed in this place. If anything, it should go down. Like all the damages I've caused in here and my kid. So, but it's going up. They said, yeah, the market, blah, blah. The market? Okay. Do my research. I pull up the website. There's a unit next door available. Same layout, same floor plan, same style. And there's no new renovations. $200 cheaper than what I'm paying currently. Not the new rent. That would have been $350 cheaper. What I have now, it was $200 cheaper than that. But what's the catch? It's for new tenants, new business. Okay. So I try to call them, try to figure this out. Hey, bro, by the way, can I just move in that one? Because I'm going to just move in there. It's $200 cheaper, same floor plan, same everything. We good, right? No, you actually have to pay a $500 transfer fee just to move units. And then on top of that, you don't get that new price, that new rent. That's only for new tenants. Since you're an existing tenant, it would just be the same rent as your other place. Make it make sense. So then I said, you know what? Screw it. We gone. 60 days, here you go. We out. I checked the apartment website. What do you know? The unit that I'm moving out of is now $200 cheaper for a new tenant. You see how that works? It's not us. It's the apartment complexes. It's the scam that they have going on. But this is the best part. When you pull up a new complex, they will have newer renovations and they'll give you 2 months free just because you're a new tenant moving in. And your rent is going to be cheaper than the last place you stayed at. So while moving costs and all of that sucks, for sure, I hate doing that. In the long run, I have a cheaper place, a nicer place, and 2 months free. So that is why I move around. It's not our fault at all. It's the apartment's fault. It's the apartment industry.
My rent just went from $1,360 to $3,900 a month. Also, I'm sick. Happy spring equinox.
Yo, the cost of living is ridiculous. So, my lease is about to end and, I'm apartment hunting, just looking around. And I haven't been apartment hunting in so long because I've been in my current place for about 2 years. And now that I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is what they talking about. I'm looking at 1 bedrooms for $2,000, $2,100, 2 bedrooms, $2,300. I would never pay that for an apartment. I will never. And I know a lot of people keep saying, just get a house, get a house. It's not that simple, buddy. When you have a house, your base mortgage could be $1,600. But all the other stuff you got to pay on top of that, you're paying a lot more than that. I know people paying $2,600 for mortgage, $2,700 for a mortgage. No, I'm not doing that right now. And then you understand property taxes, HOA fees, all that stuff that adds up. Having a house is not cheap. It's very expensive, and you need to be financially well off to have a house. And most people are not financially well off and they have houses and they're house poor. I don't want to be that person. Baby steps. Now, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm paying that much for an apartment. But at this point, I have no choice. I had set up an apartment tour And God be speaking to me. I set up an apartment tour. I knew something was off because the prices were a little down there. This morning, that same apartment complex I set up a tour for, they said someone got shot and killed this morning. Tour canceled. And my prayers go out to whoever the victim was. But yes, tour is canceled. I'm not about to go get an apartment someone just actively got killed at. So next option. At this point, it's looking like I might have to pay $2,100 for an apartment. I seen these one apartments. They were beautiful, gorgeous, in a good area. $2,200 for a 2-bedroom. I think not. I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I have absolutely no clue what I'm going to do. I don't want to move to the hood. I don't want rats and roaches. I don't want shootouts, and I don't want my car getting broken into. I don't want to live in a nice area, but I'm damn near broke every paycheck paying for rent. I don't know what to do. I really don't. I don't want to stay in my current apartments because now people are starting to catch on to how low the price is, and now it's starting to become ghetto. So I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I have no idea. And this whole hustle, I'm not with the hustle culture. Life is too short for that. I don't feel like hustling. People talk about you sleep when you die. I don't got time for that. I want to live a good life here. I want it to be peaceful. I want it to be stress-free. I want life to be stress-free. I don't got time to be grinding to the point where I can't enjoy life. I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? People, you retired at 67? No, I don't got time for that. I'm 35. I'm tired of the grinding. I'm not trying to live a difficult life. I'm trying to live a easy life. I don't care what none of y'all say. All that hustle bustle, all this stuff, American culture, y'all got it. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing that. I don't want to just work. No, I'm looking for a way out. I'm looking for something different. I might have to just move out of this country at this point, but yeah, I'm done.
Rent in America is just getting way too expensive nowadays. The average rent in America today is a little over $2,000 a month. But what if you didn't have to worry about that anymore? If you have no experience at all, here's how one product on Amazon can help you generate enough to be able to cover your rent or your mortgage or whatever the case is. So if we're aiming for $2,000 a month in profit, it only takes one product. That's it, one product. Let's say you have a product that can sell for $30, okay? All you need to do is sell 10 units of those a day. Okay, 10 units a day. That's gonna generate you $300 a day in sales, in revenue. That's gonna turn into about $9,000 a month in sales. Now, typical profit margins on Amazon, if you do everything correctly, after advertising, after Amazon fees, you could land at a 30% profit margin. At 30% profit margin, that's gonna generate you $2,700 a month in profit. You can literally start with, and it costs you $5, let's say. It's a $5 product times 300 units. That costs you $1,500 to start, to buy that inventory. That's it. A lot of people can do this. You don't need a ton of experience. You don't need a ton of money to start either. It's very doable, and you can scale this. You don't need employees. You don't need a warehouse. You don't need to pack or label anything. You can do this all remotely from your computer. So if you guys want more information about how to do this the right way, then comment FBA and I'll send you some resources that can help.
My hot take is paying more than $700 a month to rent a room should be criminal. I live in Las Vegas and I pay $850 a month for a room and a shared bathroom. Nice area, nice little house, but personally I think that's too much money, but that's kind of the average going rate here and elsewhere. But personally I think anything more than $700, maybe $750, you can convince me if it's a nice house, nice area. You know, a lot of things nearby, maybe. But even in expensive cities like LA, Washington, I personally think nothing over $750 you should be able to charge. That's just criminal for my personal opinion.
So I'm in the middle of selling my house right now and looking for apartments in and around the DMV area. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not prepared for the sticker shock of how much these apartments are going for these days, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, for context, we bought that house in 2021. We've been there for 5 going on 6 years now. And as a result of that, I was insulated from the inflation everybody else has been going through because my cost of living has been fairly static last 5 years. Now, I'm seeing apartments, shoeboxes in the DMV area. Not even DC, I'm just talking about in the surrounding areas. And even in Baltimore, they want almost $2,200 for a shoebox, not even 700 square feet. Now, thankfully, I can afford it. I'm not going to like it, but I can make it work if need be. But I just found myself thinking like, damn, if this is what everybody else is going through, it's no wonder everybody's struggling right now. Like, we are literally being squeezed on both ends. All these landlords and apartment communities are weaponizing the fact that the barrier for entry into home ownership is so high and impossible right now for most people, and are squeezing people for every dollar they got in their pocket right now. And it's crazy because it was not always this way. I'm not even talking about back in the 2000s. I'm talking about as recently as like 2020. Before we bought this house, we was living in an apartment in Largo. We paid $1,500 for a luxury, 800 square foot apartment. That same apartment right now goes for $2,100, if not $2,200, right? And that's before parking, that's before utilities and everything else. Like, this shit is insane, bro. And it's like, how the fuck are young people supposed to get ahead? Young people just starting their careers, young people trying to get out their mama house, young people's trying to start a family. How the fuck are they supposed to get ahead? If they're not even being given a chance to grow financially or to save, like, how the fuck is that possible?
Paying rent in New Jersey is making me poor. After being in New Jersey, living on my own for the past year and a half, I am officially house poor. Understanding that you need to save to move in is already a complex, number one. Number two, buy the furniture for the home that you need. Number three, you need to have not only the current rent, but the rent for the next month. Groceries, car note, car insurance, children, if you have kids, now you have to furnish their lifestyle as well. And by no means am I saying I'm about to be homeless, but it factors in, will I ever be able to afford to buy an actual home? Stopping me from going to Starbucks or not going out as much is not going to make $15,000 show up in my account for a down payment for a home. But why is New Jersey rent so ridiculously high for these luxury apartments that are not even luxury? I literally still have to take my own trash down 2.5 blocks to the dumpster. Why are we paying so much rent in New Jersey?